Something is awakening inside of Black women, a quiet but undeniable knowing that we're meant for more than survival, more than sacrifice, more than endurance, more than carrying everyone else's expectations while putting our own dreams on hold. A realization that the life we've been taught to accept may not be the life we're meant to live, and that there may be more freedom, more peace, more joy, and more possibility available to us than we've ever imagined. Because once you realize you have options, everything changes. Close your eyes and imagine living a life you love, unapologetic and unbothered, free from daily microaggressions from Karens and Kens, free from the fear of police brutality and systemic racism. Wouldn't that feel amazing? Now open your eyes. What if I told you that it's possible? Hear inspiring stories and get the actual blueprints from brothers and sisters of the diaspora who are living out their wildest dreams abroad. You've heard the term, now be inspired by the movement. I'm Chrishan Wright, and this is Blaxit Global. Wow, it's been a long time. I am happy to be back on the mic. And a lot has happened since our last episode. Last fall, we celebrated our 5-year anniversary with a yacht party. And we sailed along the River Teju and welcomed people from around the world. People came from the United States and Kenya and as far as Asia and South America. And it was so fabulous to see. We also hosted our sisters from Exodus Summit at a wonderful and divine meetup. I'm so in awe of what I've built, what we've built. I also moved to a new city, settled into a new chapter of my life abroad. And all of that has given me time to reflect. Because if you're listening on Juneteenth, today marks 6 years that Blaxit Global officially was born on Juneteenth at the height of a global pandemic with all that happened during a racial reckoning that left many of us asking questions that we may not have had time to seriously consider before. What would it look like if I left? What started as a conversation became a community. What started as a Facebook group became a movement. And eventually, that movement outgrew Facebook. As our community expanded, I made the decision to create a private space away from peering eyes, a space of our own, a place where members could connect, ask questions, share resources, and build relationships without distraction, without algorithms, and away from the prying eyes that often come in white spaces and on social media. Today, that community lives inside of Blaxit Global Passport. And for many of us, that's where some of the most meaningful work starts to happen. Because moving abroad is just one thing, but building a life is something completely different. And that journey is easier when you're surrounded by people who understand it. For me, moving abroad always felt like a dream that at times wasn't going to be fulfilled because life was lifing. And it's so rewarding knowing that I was able, myself, to make my life's dream a reality. And that doesn't make me special. I will accept that it makes me brave, but it doesn't mean that it's not available to you. The journey is easier when you're surrounded by people who understand it. When you're surrounded by people who start realizing that being a dreamer is okay. It doesn't make you crazy. When you're surrounded by other dreamers, your dream gets amplified and magnified. It compounds. And so now 6 years later, I've seen people moved to countries like Rwanda and Mexico and Portugal and Ghana, Vietnam, Spain, France, Thailand, and beyond. I've watched people retire abroad, start businesses abroad, find love abroad, and heal abroad. And perhaps, and maybe most importantly, I've watched people discover that freedom does not require permission. Because somewhere along the line, we thought that our existence was conditional. Because if you're a Black American, your existence in the United States, and I know that it has been reinforced in recent years, has always been conditional. We see that in the stripping away of our rights, the dismantling of DEI, the jettisoning of many Black women from the workforce. But we don't have to treat expatriation, moving abroad, like it's a rescue mission, as if another country is going to save us, as if crossing a border will magically erase every challenge, as if freedom is a destination and not our birthright. Because wherever you go, there you are. Moving abroad on its own doesn't make you wealthy. It doesn't make you healed. It doesn't miraculously make you emotionally available or disciplined. But it does give you time to pause if you allow it, to connect if you're open, to heal through therapy, community, connection. It can make you find the joy that may have been hidden. Sometimes a new environment gives you room to build more easily, to rediscover play and playfulness. Over the past 6 years, I've had a front row seat to some inspiring stories, some triumphant stories, and some that are truly heartbreaking. But what I've learned is that the people who thrive abroad, and I'm not saying pick up everything and leave. Some people leave for a season. Some people leave long term. Some people go back and forth. It's whatever you make it. But the people who thrive are rarely the people who are chasing escape. They're the people that are designing a life that they love. They are the people that are creating options for themselves. They are the people that are investing in themselves long before they buy that plane ticket. And another thing that I've learned, nobody builds that life alone. They don't build it in a vacuum. The greatest gift Blaxit Global has given is being a conduit of information and inspiration. And it is through that community that you're able to take inspired action. It's the friend that looks for a place for you before you've even landed. It's the person who encourages you on your scouting trip. It's the people that hold space for you in accountability group. It's the entrepreneur who wants to collaborate with you so that your impact is amplified. It's the retiree that shows you what's possible when you pour into yourself, when you take time to rest. It's the community that reminds you that you don't have to do and figure everything out on your own. The decision to leave might be an individual one. I'll give you that. But it flourishes in community. And this is what this platform has evolved into. Expansion. Not just expanding your geographical footprint, expanding your network, expanding your thinking, expanding your opportunities, expanding by living in the art of the possible, by redefining what is possible for your life. For a long time, many of us were taught to simply compete for a seat at someone else's table, only for them to pull that seat away before your bottom touches, to prove our worth, to wait to be chosen, to fight for one rung on a ladder that wasn't even built for us. But the future belongs to people who understand something different. We define and defy what's possible. So go create those opportunities. Design and build your own asset. Leverage your skill. Make the investment in you. Cultivate the relationships that build connections so that you can expand what is possible. Not just for yourself, but for everyone connected to you. That's what Blaxit Global has always been about. Not escape, but expansion. Not running away, but running towards. Not fear, but freedom. Not survival, but choice. And that's why Blaxit Global Passport remains the heart of what we do, because it's where our community gathers. It's where those questions get answered. It's where those friendships are formed. And so I'm proud to witness the new lives that are created and that are not defined by limitation, but by possibility. So if you've been listening to the Blaxit Global podcast for a few months or for a few years and you haven't joined us yet, baby, you're missing out, because the journey is always sweeter when you get to do it with someone else. Because the journey isn't just about where you move, but how you live, how you build, how you invest your time, how you create options and pathways for yourself, how you cultivate and embrace freedom in a way that allows you to design a life you love, a life that you build by design and not by default. So here's to 6 years of building. Here's to 6 years of community. Here's to 6 years of expansion. So thank you for being part of this journey, and welcome to Season 8 of the Blaxit Global Podcast. Thank you for listening to the Blaxit Global Podcast. For more information on today's episode, be sure to visit our website at blaxitglobal.com. It's not only possible to live out your dreams unbothered and in full color, it is your birthright. This episode of the Blaxit Global Podcast is sponsored by Blaxit Global Passport. At some point, the question stops being, can I move abroad? And becomes, what's possible for my life? Passport is where Black women from around the world come together to explore new possibilities, navigate life abroad, and create lives that feel bigger than the ones they were told to settle for. Because the goal was never just to move. The goal is to expand what feels possible. Visit blaxitglobal.com and click community to begin your next chapter.